Go.
We are in, Ken. We are back. Two Homies Chatting. Podcast, episode 55. What is up?
My dude.
Hey.
What's
Hey,
up?
howdy. Howdy.
Good to be back. So good
I know, man.
to be back.
It feels great to be back. I love getting on the ones and twos. You know, we had a visitor last week, Mr. Guile Carahana.
Oh, you
And
saw
then-
Guile.
Yeah. GK came over, and he hung out.
Oh, that's marvelous.
We hit up the boneyard, did some chilling, showed him a little PDX our way. And then he went and hung out with his familia. And then, we kind of were syncing up. We had, Celtics game 1 Tuesday, game 1 tonight. I had one of those things that happens annually. And
period? Oh, that's monthly, my bad.
Yeah. Monthly. I probably still have one of those too. They say we have them, so probably.
Menstruation, yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, I hear it attracts the bears. The bears.
They can smell the
menstruation.
Definitely.
And
that's dope.
Yeah, dude, we've just been watching a lot of basketball. I'm pumped, bro. Celtics game 1. KG's birthday. Shout out Kevin Garnett, not Kyle Garahana, but shout out to Kyle Garahana too. Kevin Garnett's birthday today. Shout out, baby. C's crushing.
That was awesome, dude. You brought us in so strong. It was a lot like you ever kind of like half jog down the stairs and you're doing a really good job, but then like the last couple you slip a little bit, but it's kind of like a small slip. So
catch yourself.
It's almost as if you meant to like slide the last two, and you look.
I just
cool
try to get
it. And you
just
cool
trying to get down
it.
efficiently.
You did.
Yeah,
you did
real
it.
quick.
You did it good, real quick, real smooth. And we're in, and we're thirsty. So let me ask you something.
Ooh, yeah.
What's beer number 1?
Ooh,
First quarter.
I will
beer.
say this.
What you got?
All right. So beer number 1 is not
this. We should call
not
it
a beer.
This is first period beer in honor of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs because we're doing 3 periods today.
3 periods.
Not the aforementioned kind of period. This is a period.
That's an annual thing for me.
Yeah.
3 periods annually.
This is 3 quarters, but they can't call it a quarter because it's a third. So they're periods. So
as a
you got your beer yet? Dude, I've been stalling, looking like a fool.
I got you. I had to make a decision. So I've been boozing since the game. So it's been a day. So I kind of wanted to come into the night light and gradually increase myself into something heavy, like a knockout home run. So I came in, Kenny, with strawberry lemonade cider from Two Towns Cider House, only fresh pressed Northwest apples. Fun fact about the state of Oregon and the PNW is that we are a very fruitful state when it comes to agriculture. True. And growing produce. And so there's a high volume of cider options in the state of Oregon because we are so we have a massive ability to grow apples. So if anybody ever wanted to know, why is there so much cider coming out of Oregon? Well, we grow like more apples than like most places in the country. So
it's true.
Very
true.
Cheers. But out of Two Towns.
2 Towns,
which
I like
is
that. The homie 2
out
line
of Corvallis. Shout out to Corvallis, Benny the Beaver.
Benny Beef.
That's right.
Benny the Beaver.
I always this. Benny and the Beefs. Elton John. So go. What are you rocking, bro?
Dude, rocking? I got a Roja out of Salt Lake City that I'm pumped for. Orange can, go Browns. Schedule's released. I felt fired up grabbing the Shambo Juicy IPA in this orange can. It's got a bad glare. It's orange.
I dig that because it's kind of like
and it's
like
delicious.
even though he's not playing this weekend in the PGA, it's like the DeChambeau, like your shampoo. So, even though Bryson's not playing this weekend,
So
Roy's got a nice lead.
here you go.
What you got?
Shambo Juicy IPA. That's how we settle things around here at Roja. An unfiltered, juicy IPA. Roja Shambo always finishes smooth, no matter your choice. Rock, paper, or scissors.
Ooh, like Rochambeau. Oh, not like DeChambeau, like Rochambeau.
I tell you what, I can rock this. I can rock this.
Let's ask a really important question when it comes to the game Rochambeau. All right. Are you a rock, paper, scissor or rock, paper, scissor, shoot?
It's rock, paper, scissors, shoot. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yes. It's
That would be the wrong way. There would be another beep in there.
Bear Hunter Princess. Oh
yeah, that one. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, the classic game. It's on shoot.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, dude, the Shambo is solid.
What do you throw out? Do you go like scissors first? Do you go like? I cheat at the game, so it's kind of.
Yeah, like what do you cheat? How do you cheat in the game? Like, what's your go-to tactic? I mean, nobody listening now will ever lose to you in rock, paper, scissors. But it's okay. I mean, that's only like 12
everybody
people
knows
listening.
I cheat at Uno. Yeah, everybody loses. It's not 12. All right, it's 14, and we thank all 14 of you for listening to this fresh episode of Two Homies Chatting.
The freshest. I showered.
It's as fresh as this freshly, no added sugar, only fresh pressed Northwest apples, always whole ingredients. I really just like the can because it's like Mount Hood.
What's the company again?
Two Town Cider House out of Corvallis, bro.
Two Line Ken likes the Two Town Cider House a lot. We can get down Two Town style for show.
Two Towns, two lines.
It's red. It looks like you're drinking blood, and with your long hair, you kind of look vampire-ish. It's cool. You look really cool right now.
I want to suck your blood out of this ice cold mug.
Oh, that was good. Wow, you do Transylvania really well. That's spooky.
It's like channeling like a Christopher Walken. Like, I need more cowbell. Love. Kenny, let me suck your blood. The cowbell. That's like
that's gold.
It's like that's gold. Like a Christopher Walken type of.
Oh, that's gold.
That's how you when you do vampire, you do Christopher Walken. Everybody knows that.
That's good.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody
right?
know, except for me. Apparently, I did not.
I thought everybody knew that,
but I feel foolish now for not knowing that.
Don't feel foolish.
That's great. That was worth it all right there. That's worth the wait, folks.
You know what was worth the wait, dude, bro? Like, we had this beer on the podcast before. Well, I had it personally, and it's a brewery called Ex Novo Brewing Company.
Oh yeah.
Okay? And yesterday we did this thing, and yesterday was Wednesday. We went to Ex Novo. We had a good time. We ordered some beers. I had this delicious Pilsner. If our listeners wanted to catalog back to our beer tasting extravaganza that we've kind of pivoted to, you would remember it was the most interesting lager in the world.
I remember that.
Brewed. Yeah, that was an Ex Novo brew. But I had this nice Pilsner. Ooh. And the highlight to their Pilsner was that it's like made with fresh Oregon River water. And like, dude, it was like crispy, refreshing. But I did learn something about Ex Novo. And if I happen to be wrong, email us at Two Homies Chatting or the podcast thc@gmail.com. Both will get there. But from my understanding, they are the first ever nonprofit, 100% nonprofit brewery in America. So shout out to Ex Novo. Great brewery in Beaverton. I know they have some downtown Portland. Fantastic facility in Beaverton. Shout out to the Beaverton scene. They're crushing
Yo,
it right now.
Benny.
Yo, Penny the Beef. But yeah, Ex Novo, bro. They handle business. So I wanted to, give a little local shout out. I know we're always doing that. But I do got something for you that I gotta ask you. Okay.
Ask away.
Yeah, we were chatting the other day. And we were talking about a little some, a little some, and I just want to pick your brain, and I just want to know, in this
Can I pick it? Yes, you can.
original segment of Two Line Ken Presents. He said, what's what's your most fire two lines you've heard recently, bro?
This is my new one. And yo, shout out to the Kobe Ham, the old homie Kobe Ham back in the day, because this is almost like a nod to him. He would come at me in the halls and be like, nudge, nudge. Yo, he said this, and then he would give me a couple of the lines that he said. And I'm gonna go. I got one for you actually here. So this is the fieriest two lines that I heard a rapper spit this week.
Ooh, by Two Line Ken. By Two Line Ken.
This is not a new release, but this is off of. Let me just get the facts right. This is off of an album by Benny the Butcher, and the song is called Sunday School, after the lyric by 38 Spesh. And in this rap song, there's a word he uses I'm going to just substitute homie for, just because.
Yeah.
So
I like what Snoop Dogg did in the Super Bowl, where anytime there was a cuss word, Snoop Dogg would go, I'm a big fan of that. So we've been replacing It's a little tough. Not as smooth as Snoop, but continue.
That is just fire hot. The Snoop did that, yo. I'm trying to pull it up really quick because I don't want to misquote 38 Spish there. He says, homies borrowing the guns they use, but I got my own stick like I'm about to come play pool. Homies want gunplay cool, but they don't really want to go there like Sunday school.
Ooh, nobody wants to go to Sunday school, man. You're like, why do I got to? Do I gotta go?
That's the fire.
That's Benny the Butcher?
That's 38 Spesh. Guest on a Benny the Butcher track. Benny's they're both fired on that, and I think it's actually there's also homie on this as well. It's sometimes I hate portrait mode, and I wish I could. It's like Styles P.
You got that portrait lock?
Jada Kiss, one of those ones. Those homies.
Jada Kiss making
fire. Actually, I'm gonna pull it up right here. Jada Kiss is on it. He finishes the song, and the homie Jada Kiss brings fire too, although not featured on this premiere segment of. He said what?
He said
also
he said,
fire.
What?
But 38 Spesh gets the nod this time, and you have to tune in next week to see who gets the nod.
Oh, I can't wait.
Blind Ken.
I can't wait. And just so anybody knows, like speaking from like a slightly small Catholic perspective, nobody wants to go to Sunday school. Nobody. No. I would fake things to get out of it. Sorry. Not sorry. Oh, I slept in. Couldn't make it. Oh. Couldn't go.
I go to school on Sunday, but it's a different kind of school.
You get on the greens, huh?
A lot of grass.
I got golf league this week, bro.
Starts this week, man. Are you fired up? Are you ready to go?
I'm pretty pumped. That's
good. All you got to just
I'm a little nervous.
Show up and play golf. The score is just the score. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You just got to
it's all
chase
about
the ball
experience.
Around. Just chase the ball around the links. high five some dudes and get a ranking. That's dope. That's fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I mean, don't get me wrong. Would I love to be in a golf league with my homies? 100%.
Yep.
But I'd love to like be able to get out there on the course on a Wednesday night with my dudes.
On a
You know,
regular. That'd be
fuck
great.
yeah. But you know, I got the homie Ben. Me and him, we're gonna go out there.
That's
We're gonna
great,
try this
man.
out. It's kind of nice because he's left-handed and I'm right-handed, so we got like two different type of
Oh, that's good.
mishit directions. You know,
That's good. Oh, and you get
so you're
and
kind of like
you might have different lines to pins too that might be advantageous to you. Like a right-handed player, you know, if you play a ball, might have an obstruction on his way to the pin, and the left-handed player might have the better, depending on his swing track there. So, but
yeah. I
yeah,
hope it's
that's
kind of
great.
like a little out of this world, bro. You know,
I
but one
like
thing
things that are out
too
of this world.
is you know, we're headed up, you know, to one of those national parks up in Washington this weekend, right? We're gonna go explore some Mount Rainier. So I felt like, you know, when we're outside the Emerald City, for those in the PNW know, Seattle is called, you know, often referred to as the Emerald City.
Wizard of Oz
When
reference.
you're yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean, that was Kansas. You know, no, they weren't in Kansas. Maybe they were in
No,
Washington the
the
whole time
Oz,
around.
where the Oz, the Wizard of Oz, they called it the Emerald City.
Oh, well, that's tight. Well, outside of Auburn, another uh, brewery we've had on the show, Shilling Hard Cider. Yeah,
Ooh,
I followed one hard cider with another hard cider again because I was
that's
like,
great.
ooh, I'm gonna sunset out tonight with the roughie, but I'm gonna feel good going into it. And we'll see how the morning feels.
You're gonna
But
close with the roughie. I like it.
the roughie.
Good. I
I
like it.
got the
That's great.
Adventure Awaits Shilling Hard Cider, Emerald City Blackberry Pear here.
Ooh, that that pop sounded refreshing.
Look at
Oh, it's
that.
dark
Huh?
too. It's dark as
You
well.
want
Look
to
at
talk
that
about,
blackberry. That looks like juice. That looks
you
like
know
you
what they say,
drinking
that
juice.
the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. That's
I
just
gotta
what
tell
it
you,
is.
the cider game is not the same in the state of Utah as it is in Oregon. There's just apple cider. That's it. And you're talking
Yeah.
about like blackberry Zeta Bush or whatever. What did you say it was?
Pear.
Pear.
But
Close.
Zeta Bush is close.
Is that a thing?
Sam
I made that up, I
Samsonite.
think. Samson. Way
um,
off.
yeah, they do it. You know, I think like, you know, the vibe up here is kind of cider. You know, like it's like cider's like fall, and it's kind of like, you know,
All
325 fall. But
for
it's
all the
fall like,
insiders.
yay. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's like they just explore. Portland, you know, they just try to get weird and like put some fruits together.
I like
And
it. How
boom.
is the blackberry
Yeah.
peach combo? How's it treated? How do you feel about it?
It's very light, actually.
Oh
Very
man.
light. What you cracking open, bro? What's
I
beer number 2 on the day?
Ketos Brewing
Oh, you on
out
a
of Salt
keto
Lake City.
diet?
No, I got a ketos. We the homie Andrew and I spent a weekend out in the desert last weekend and enjoyed a couple of great rounds of golf at the
I'm
Ledges
jelly.
in St. George. And I'll tell you what, man, that was
What you
hot.
guys do? Did you do like a Airbnb down there, like a
Yeah,
hotel?
Uncle
Like what?
Bruce
How did
has
that go?
Uncle Bruce has a spot on the course,
Oh,
like
shout out Uncle Bruce.
like probably 200 yards from the clubhouse and across the street from the pool. And so we just went there with the kids and they swam
Oh, they
and
have fun.
did a hike, and then we snuck out for golf every day. And it was day one was fun, man, and shot pretty well. I took day 1. Andrew took day 2. I got to be honest, I was tired. We played in the pool all morning, and then we went out. And I'll tell you, the last couple of holes, it was. I was like 100 yards out. Give me my 5-iron. So I'm tired. What's my
I'm
hybrid?
swinging light. Yeah.
I don't think I could get there.
I'm punching this motherfucker
But I'll
up
tell
there.
you, the course was great. It's out there in the red rocks, out in the hills. A
Yeah.
couple of spots across the street were like, there was a few cars out there that had parked and hiked to some petrified dunes out there that we later hiked to with the kids. I'll send you some pictures. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, you got to.
But it was a lot of fun.
I'm glad the kids are getting out.
It's hot, and I like it. I love it when golf courses send the cart around with beverages, the beverage cart. That's an important
ice cold
thing that's needed, especially if you've got the sign out front that says, no outside food or drink. Like, you better have somebody zipping around with food or drink for me then. And, I'll pay a little bit more. But we got some ketos and it was delicious. And I saw it at the store and I'm having the American lager.
Ooh,
it's a standard. It's an aggressive pop. I had it by the mic. That's my bad.
Yo, don't apologize for greatness. That's like apologizing for never going to a game 7. Oh, my bad. Finish everything in 6.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah, what's up?
What's the most that you would pay for a beer? One single beer. What do you think your limit is?
Well, I feel like I've clearly paid at least $12 for one before to a sporting event.
Definitely.
Like going to like a Jazz game or like a Trailblazers game. I feel like I probably have spent at least $12. So I think the minimalist I would spend is like $12. Now, I think my next piece of cost would come into like, what are the fluid ounces that I'm getting for the, like,
very interesting.
Am I getting like 16 ounces for like $20? Then I'd probably be like, I'm just not going to drink tonight. But if I was getting like 24 ounces for $20, then I would be like, okay, maybe I'll have one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to and it better be a beer that stays cold because I'm going to fucking spend 3 hours drinking this goddamn beer. You know what I mean? So I don't know what my max is, honestly. I feel like this is situational.
Would you pay $18 for a Michelob Ultra?
No.
Well, let me tell you
Not a Michelob Ultra.
If you're in Tulsa, Oklahoma at Southern Hills this weekend at the PGA Championships, you will be paying $18 for a Michelob Ultra. I saw a story today.
What?
A lot of golfers are tweeting out like, yo, what is up?
Yo, it's just not okay.
Beer prices, $18.
Inflation.
$18 for a Michelob Ultra. Justin Thomas takes to Twitter and says, $18 with like 9 exclamation marks for a beer. What? Gotta treat the fans better than that. Shout out to JT. Appreciate you. That's right.
Yeah. 100%. Now, this is where I'll give props to I can't think of his full name, but I believe it's Art something, and he's the owner of the Atlanta Falcons, right? But from my understanding, the Falcons is like expensive to buy the ticket, but once you're in the stadium, the prices are ridiculously affordable. Like, a couple bucks for some nachos, hot dogs are like $2 type of deal. Beers are like $6. But I got a problem with this because, like $18 for a Michelob Ultra is not okay.
Listen to this.
This is not okay.
Brooks Koepka says, Michelob Ultra is $18, but it's tall boy. It's bigger than the normal ones, so you'll be all right. You drink enough,
see, now
you'll be fine.
That's
worth noting. Brooks Koepka has an endorsement deal with Michelob Ultra.
Where I feel like he should be like Michelob
Free.
Ultra. Come on, man. Like that should just be Brooks Koepka's little response. Like, but I do. That's where he comes into play. Is like it's tall boy. So let's see, tall boy here.
So
We're
listen.
talking 19.2. So I'm spending less than $1 an ounce. So that's nice.
I love this article, and I'm going to take this part right from it. Because there's an interesting contrast here because we just enjoyed the Masters at Augusta. And so, according to this author, who I'll cite as Jay Busby, for Yahoo Sports, he here are some things that you could spend $19 on at Augusta. 9 soft drinks.
9 soft drinks.
9 bottled waters.
Wow.
4 domestic beers. 3 imports and 1 domestic beer for 19. 12 pimento cheese sandwiches. Or 19 bags of chips. All things you can get for the same price that at the Southern Hills you'll be buying single beer. Just saying.
See, that to me is where that's why the Masters is the greatest tournament. You know, that's why it's the greatest. What's it called?
It's the greatest of them. Golf tournaments.
It's the great
events.
No, majors. It's the greatest
major. It's the greatest of the major. I don't know, dude.
I know you're St. Andrews or like
I'm an open guy.
Open.
I love.
Yeah, you're an open guy.
But I will say this: as a fan, there would be no better experience. I'm not sure I would be too into standing in the 25-mile-an-hour rain, wind to watch golf. I don't know, man. If I flew across the pond, I'd probably do it. I would be prepared. I'd dress appropriately, and I'd probably just wait it out. But like chilling in Augusta in April sounds way better.
Yeah.
And knowing that they're not going to gouge you on pimento cheese sandwiches really, really sweetens the deal. Because I'm having 12 of those things, man. Shout out to you, Jay. Appreciate you on that intel.
Well, the crazy thing to me is like, don't you know, the more I drink, the more money I'm gonna spend, right?
But it's a universal law. That's actually Einstein's fourth law. It's not often cited, but that's Einstein's fourth law. The more I drink, the more I spend. That's everybody knows that,
right? Like, and the more I will like. So, like to me, what I look at like and again, I am not like to the listeners, like I don't have a degree in business. I haven't been to MBA. But what I would think of is like less price equals higher conversion, right? So like if I had $9 beers, right? Just $9 beers. Two beers for $18, right?
Workable.
I'm gonna buy that.
$2 tip, hand them a 20, get 2, you walk away. You got you and your date a drink, like you're good to go.
Yep. Next round.
I don't even hesitate that. Now you're just 20s is a round. You're good to go.
Yeah, 20s is a round, and I'm getting 2 every time.
But $40 for a round?
Nope. Because now I'm not eating food. So now my audience is sloppy.
You get drunker. You're getting drunker.
Yeah. Now I got sloppy people. Good. Right? So now you want to know why people want to know why, like, why did people storm up on Phil Mickelson last year? You want to know why people kind of came up on Phil Mickelson real hot? Because nobody ate anything for fucking 6 hours because there's $18 beers at the fucking US Open. Like, that's the problem. Like,
it's crazy.
You know,
it's crazy.
You got to remember that, like, and that's where the corporate greed comes in, man. The corporate greed comes in on that shit. It's too gouging. Hard, dude.
The government's cracking down on it, apparently, but it's gouging.
Not at the US Open.
PGA Championship.
Not at the US Open.
PGA Championship.
Oh yeah, PGA champion. You know what I mean? But like you're like
just for accuracy.
I guess yeah.
Just accuracy.
It's just one of those things. Like, yo, if you give me $9 beers, I guarantee I'm buying a hot dog and a pretzel, probably some nachos. All right, and more beers. So like, just think about that. Like, it's like it's not the idea of like, oh, the beer. I think the thing is like it's very frequent that in the golf community when you play golf you drink, right? Like that's kind of like the thing, right? You play golf, you
there's
drink,
a reason that there's a beverage.
You have
cart
some good times, I think so. Like I think the idea is like supply and demand, right? Like everybody that's going to show up here is a daily drinker and wants to booze. But like my idea is like I want to sell volume. Right, like I want more.
That's where I would be too.
More
especially
items in your cart.
Especially Michelob.
I want more items in your cart.
Come on,
right?
Yeah,
like
you're right.
I want you to get a beer, a pretzel, nachos. I want you to get all that shit. Like I want you to buy as much shit in that fucking thing as possible. So like for me, when I think of like, oh, $18 beer, I'm putting less items in my cart because the one thing that interests me the most about being there and watching you is now way too expensive. And the other question is like, what's just a well drink? What's like a well drink at that? Like, what's a vodka soda at one of the motherfucking places right now?
10, I have that in the article. I can pull that up. It was like 10
and
to
that's
$17.
of drinking vodka sodas all night.
Yeah, wine. I think wine was one of the options that was mentioned. Let's see if I can find it really quick. To do a dance. Yeah, here, $10 to $17 for wine. $19 craft beer, $17 domestic, and $10 to $17 for wine. Ouch, is what our buddy Jay Busbar says.
I'll be like, "What's your $10 wine?"
Busby. That's Busby. Busbar's an electrical term. Sorry, my jobs got crossed.
I'll be like, "What's your $10 wine?" I'll take it. Yeah, that's my whole goal. Like, I just think of like conversion, right? Put more items in the cart, buy more shit.
See,
right?
I see, and so I started by asking you what's your limit, and so I think I got your limit. I think it's $12. I think that's your limit.
$12
because you just told me that you're drinking wine instead of beer because it's $10. So I think that's your limit. I think mine's
I live
20.
in wine country, dog.
I think mine's 20 because I just agreed.
20 for a tall boy, though, right?
I think I'd still choose a craft 12 ounce for $19.
No, you wouldn't, Ken. No,
I think I would. I think I would.
This is bullshit.
Maybe a domestic because honestly, I could tip a little bit more with a 20, but I'd be getting one beer. I can't because that's like $17 for a domestic beer. So I'm like,
it's like a $17 Miller Lite. Kenny's tossing $3.
Yeah,
Kenny's like, I feel good for the $3.
Dude,
like
they've done nothing. One's free.
They did nothing but like, yeah, but like, here's the thing too. It's like you can't give $3.
Tip your bartenders.
Totally.
Tip your bartenders. Take care of your people.
You tip $1 at those events. You tip $1 per can.
That's what I always try to do. At least,
yeah. You don't go $3.
Is that why it's $19?
Turning around, like, yeah,
that's
probably.
Why it's $19. So I give them a 20. I get a cut.
20. You walk away for 12-ounce cutthroat though.
That's
nah,
my limit.
I ain't fucking with no 12 ounce. I ain't fucking with no 12-ounce cutthroat.
I would do it. That's what I'm saying. Yours
that's
is 12.
Your limit.
That's my limit. Is 20. If you're telling me it's 25 now, I'm starting to go. Maybe not.
If you told me it was $20.01, I'm fucking out of there.
Water's $5. All right. Well, I do need to stay hydrated, so I guess I'll make that choice.
That's that shit too, where they like sell liquid of death or something like that.
I do like Jay's last line of this article for Yahoo Sports right here. Jay Busby. He says, if you're headed to the PGA Championship, we can't endorse sneaking alcohol onto the premises, even if it'll save you the price of a steak dinner. But remember, they won't check the contents of your belly. Pre-gaming isn't just for football.
That's key, because That upsets me. That upsets me. Like one, not
That's
only
the
that, but
key.
like
Pre-game
the
right,
first
and you're
two
good to go.
rounds,
Couple
I'm
of
paying
gummies,
$4.99 to
6 or 7
see
beers in
the
the parking lot. You're good
couple
to go. Anyways,
vitamins,
a $20 cutthroat to sip on for a
chilling.
few holes. You're fine. That's
See,
the
now
icing. That's the
it makes
icing.
sense.
You can't go there expecting to
Or
get drunk on $20 cutthroats. You're a damn fool. You've got to add that on top
or
of a belly full of whiskey.
or you pregame, then you walk in that motherfucker, buy yourself some wine, a hot dog, and have some nachos while you buy yourself a beer. And then you're like, yo, let me get one of them chips.
Man,
And I said, no,
all
you
I'm
should have thought
saying
about that.
all I'm saying with nachos at a golf event is that like I'm the kind of guy who like doesn't always capture the moment around me. And
Yo.
so I'm the guy who like Tiger is like on his backswing and I'm like hump.
Yeah.
Like Scott Van Pelt's gonna like turn and be like, "What? Who is this guy in the crowd having nachos?" And I'm gonna be a Sports Center joke. That's what that would happen to me. So sipping a beer, maybe I can catch a golf ball in it and chug it and maybe be a hero. I'm just saying, I like those odds.
Well, that's what happened to James Hahn 2 weeks ago, right? James Hahn, like during a golf tournament, blamed straight up botching a putt, like botching it, dude, like looked like me on the fucking green, and
Yep.
was like turned around and was like, bro, I could hear you eating those chips. And in that moment, I was like, bro, are you that much of a weenie that like you just heard somebody munching on chips and that made you miss a putt? Like the fact that he even blamed that on him, I was like, every time I'm at a golf tournament, I'm gonna
But
be that
listen,
guy with nachos,
but
mouth
listen,
open,
but
no
listen,
bucks.
but listen, but listen. I know your take on this. And your take is that he should be mentally stronger and he should quiet
100%.
all the noise out. And I know
Not
your
even
take
that.
on
It's just
this.
like chips.
I've heard the speech. But I will say, $1 million on the line. You're trying to focus, and Todd is chewing Doritos over there. I might be a little pissy about it too. Like, just wait till wait 10 seconds for the next chip, bro. Like, come on. Like, I can see Goldie Hawn's kid's point.
Goldie Hawn's kid. I think okay, so you're valid. You're valid with the sense of dollars on the line. Like my beef is you're already so distracted. You're so nervous. You're in your head so much. Like, yo, if I'm on the green, Kenny, first of all, you know that somebody is not anywhere near that green. They're at least 10 feet off the green, right? 10 feet off easily.
As a professional,
Yeah, like
they're
the
very
roping, they're like 10,
yeah.
15 feet off the green.
Yep.
So it's not like this person's holding the flag stick caddy style behind your ear, fucking chomping on some Frito-Lay jalapeno kettle cooks.
Now you're
All
living
right?
like the homies. Now you're living like the homies.
Yeah. This motherfucker was 35 feet away. And this dude's like, yo, bro, I can hear you eating these chips. And you're like, no, that's not the excuse. That's not it. I can't stand for that. No, because it's not like they're close. It's not like the motherfucker was standing right above the flag stick. Like this dude was at least 20 feet away off the green, behind a sand trap, behind a thin little rope, snacking on probably some Lay's Classics because that's what they sell there for like $3.
It comes with a hot dog.
Comes with it. I'm just saying, kidding. I can't stand for it. Sorry, Goldie Hawn's son. Your bitch ass missed the putt. Don't blame it on Doritos, motherfucker.
Fucking Lay's. Fucking Lay's Classic.
That's right. He wasn't even eating kettle cook. They don't even sell kettle cook at golf tournament. Oh, shit. Upgrade now.
Dude.
What you got?
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
best potato chip in the game right now is blank.
Probably kettle cooked, salt and pepper, kettle cooked jalapeno. The brand kettle cooked, based out of Oregon. You can find them in your Heart Smart section of the store, which means that they're made out of real ingredients and not no red 40 or no red 50, blue 90, whatever bullshit they put in them. But yeah, just fuck with them kettle cooked brand, dog. You know, I like a nice crunch with my chip too. I also fuck with Dots pretzels. You know, them
Dodge
Dots
pretzels is the jam. They got the flavors
They
too.
fuck.
You can get
Yeah,
around
yeah,
with them
just
flavors.
go OG. Just go
No,
OG.
you don't like to branch out? You don't like no flavor?
I mean, you know, it's like
You don't like flavor. That's what it's like.
I branch out on steak sauce. I branch out on hot sauce. I branch out on, salsa. I like all those flavors.
How about beer? Do you branch out on beer?
Yeah, I do.
You about to branch out on
I do.
Third beer for the
And
third period of this episode? Because I've got a fire one that I'm saving.
What you got?
No, what first, you got, man. Bro? I'm swinging for the fences. You first.
Okay, I'm gonna read you something. Okay,
please do. I love it.
Okay,
what's the brewery?
I'm gonna read you something.
Is it wait?
No. You gotta let me. You gotta let me read. Okay.
All right. I'm in. I'm patient. I'm ready.
Sorry, listeners. Fat spatula.
Are you saying fart spatula?
I'm saying flat spatula, flat. All right. Ooh, okay. All right, out of Newport, Oregon. All right, Newport, shout out. Dare Risk Dream. Ever hear the story of the Gumbaroo? As the story goes, 3 loggers were camped in the woods, drinking beers and entertaining the idea of illegally harvesting old-growth sequoias for extra cash when the ground suddenly shook with a heavy footstep, bigger than a bear, with wild eyes and jagged teeth. The Gumbaroo rose from behind a stump with a mighty roar. As the loggers scrambled to escape, beer spilled onto the fire, causing smoke to fill the air. Some say the forest only wanted to send them a warning that night, as the stroke of the smoky fortune helped hold off the Gumbaroo while the loggers got away. So remember to respect our forests, put out your fires, and always bring cold beer camping. Because if you know, camping in the woods without beer, it's just sitting in the woods. Rogue brewery dedicated to our forests, the Gumbaroo West Coast India Pale Ale right here, baby. Let's go. The Gumbaroo. Look at this monster.
Gumbaroo is
Look
coming
at that
for
beast,
you.
baby.
The Gumbaroo is coming for you because camping in the woods without beer, it's just sitting in the woods.
Yeah, what does this say? There's a sticker right here. Yeah. Camping without beer is just sitting in the woods, bro. Shout out to Rogue keeping us healthy.
Well, I should have went first probably because I don't know how I can follow that. But I do have a new brewing company. Oh, crack.
New?
And this is a fire beer. This is Salt Fire Brew Co. out of Salt Lake City, Utah. And I I got a Kolsch. If you've ever listened to the podcast before, perhaps you're a new listener, and if you are, thanks for listening to the Two Homies Chatting podcasting.
We appreciate you.
Podcasting break with the beers, and if you've listened before, though, you know I love a Kolsch. I love a
Kolsch.
with some sausage and kraut. Man,
That's what she said.
it just touches me. It just touches me. It does.
Touches me, touching
Touches you. So
you.
when I saw the Frere Kolsch Ale, I had to have it. Especially when I saw that it had right here underneath. It says ferocious. And it's delicious. And it's got
I like the artwork.
It's you watched Luca. We mentioned Luca on the last episode.
Luca don't fuck around.
It's got Uncle Ugo right there.
Silencio Bruno.
The whale carcass is very nice. I recommend.
Okay, bro. So I gotta ask you something, man. Okay, we talked about this before last episode.
My microphone smells like beer.
You got a little fuzzy, huh? I got a little Kenny. You know, I remember my first beer. We talked about this though. Where was my first beer? Is that what you're gonna ask?
Yeah. Where was your first beer?
First of all, my first alcoholic beverage was given to me by a sister I have.
Nice.
I won't shout any names.
Don't need
she's
to.
Older.
Don't need to.
And it was a Southern Comfort and Dr. Pepper was the first alcoholic beverage.
Very
I've
good
ever
intro.
Had.
Captain and Coke for me in high school.
Nice. Yeah.
I
was in middle school, but yes,
nice.
Great role model I had.
Nice. Me too.
She's fantastic. I do love her.
Oh, yes. No, she did you right.
She's fantastic.
She did you right. She's pivotal in the man that you've become
pivotal.
Today.
Amen there.
But we sidetracked, so please, you were asking me something about something.
I feel like me and you, we are very much aligned with
parallels.
How we've lived life,
yes.
How we've navigated our adulthood, right?
Yes.
But you sent me a couple of books, and we've been chatting about a certain topic recently, and I just wanted to pick your brains. So I just wanted to say, like, Kenny, let me ask you something. How have you enjoyed your Stoic journey thus far?
Well, I've been enjoying it a lot, actually. And speaking of parallels with Stoicism, there is a lot of parallels with the before mentioned philosophy that I also enjoy a lot, Taoism. And yeah, let's get into this a little bit. First of all, happy birthday, and I'm glad about the books, and the nod to Ryan Holiday is the direction that you gave me. And I think I've also mentioned before, I started with the Stoics before I dove into Ryan Holiday because I wanted to know what he was talking about before I listened to him talk about it. By the way, Ryan, thanks, man. I'm loving the content.
Great guy.
Loving the content, and also smart guy, and not just in the philosophical, psychological sense, because he is there as well. Also, understanding how we consume information and giving it to us in that little 10-minute podcast or daily read book or journal is just very, very just smart, just very, very in tune to his audience. And that's my favorite part about Ryan Holiday. If you're out there listening to this podcast going like, okay, enough of these jackasses, I need to like edify myself a little bit with some actual
I need
knowledge.
To expand my palate.
You need to maybe like uplift yourself after being dragged down a little bit here. I highly recommend Ryan Holiday's podcasts, daily podcasts. They're much shorter than ours with way more meaningful content.
100%.
But
even though it's short, it's like, and not to cut
packed.
You off, like,
no,
it's just the idea that like, like he provides insight with the ability to criticize himself. You know what I mean? Like he's able to it's not like somebody's
a similar life as us, and
Yeah.
he's applying a vast knowledge of the Stoic philosophy to a similar life and translating it
Hmm.
to us. And so I wanted to get the Stoics. So I started with Seneca. And then I got to
Yeah.
Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and I got to them all.
I got
And
Marcus
I
Aurelius.
didn't dive deep into Epictetus because I knew that Marcus Aurelius built a lot off of that.
Hmm.
I went heavy into Seneca and Aurelius, and you're going to soon know what I'm talking about with the meditations. Um, that's a book that some of the most pivotal humans in history
Leaders.
have just had by their bed, and and it is good, easy to consume, and um, a lot of it's just really just makes a lot of sense. And that's the best part of it all. And so I've been enjoying the Stoic dive, and enjoying diving deep into Ryan Holiday's books. I'm halfway through. Stillness is the key. After
That's great.
conquering
It's great.
obstacle is the way, and ego is the enemy is up next. The trilogy. So
Yeah, I
should,
liked all of those, and then he started releasing the like the first part of his 4-part series. So like then he did Courage is Calling, right? And so, but you sent me 366 meditations on wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living, which I love this stuff, right? Like, so like his podcast, The Daily Stoic, often crosses like it'll
yep,
read a lot of this,
yep.
it'll kind of dive deeper into it, but like it was nice to hear, man. It's nice when um I don't want to use Ryan Holiday as somebody who's doing self-help, right? Like
I hate that term. It's not.
I
It's
don't feel like
philosophy.
it's self-help. Yeah, it's an ideology of like a lifestyle, a
It's
way to
just
live.
philosophy. The art of living.
Um
It's just philosophy and how
yeah,
you think, and why you think that way. And everybody's a philosopher.
yeah.
Anybody who sat and stared at the moon and just kind of like sunk into a moment and thought maybe nothing or maybe a lot of things, you're philosophizing.
Philosophizing.
Socrates,
Socrates.
Plato's, all of those dudes. That's all you're doing is you're contemplating living and the art of it. And it's just to me, a lot of these ancient philosophies, we're talking 2000, 2500 year old philosophies. To me, the fact that they're still relevant today
It's insane.
is proof that they are universal. And so these
Yeah.
figures have tapped in to the universe somehow, maybe like the 15 amp extension cord or maybe a cat 5 internet ethernet cord. I don't know how they do it, but they did.
Yeah.
And they're giving us this information that we could use. And
Do you,
you can use it on the golf course. You can use it at
yeah, it's
work.
universal.
You can use it as a parent.
That was going to be my
It's
follow-up question for you was do you feel like you've been able to utilize this philosophical ideology with your responses of recent, like when something happens and it doesn't maybe go your way, do you feel like you've responded better? Do you feel like you've kind of been able to come into tougher conversations easier or anything like that? Has it kind of helped your evolutionary process from that, from like a maybe even a business standpoint, anything
I'm
like
aware
that?
of a lot more for sure. I
Yeah.
would say that I'm still early in that journey, but I desire to get to that place like Marcus Aurelius, where I am calm in all responses and don't react emotionally to anything. Um, but it's early in the game there.
Yeah, he often says like it's
But
easier said than practiced.
I
Yeah.
understand that that's actually the daily meditation is it's an ongoing thing. There is no you've reached it. There is no you got it. Congratulations, you done. it's an everyday thing. It's an every single moment thing.
Have not to get too crazy, but Ryan Holiday often uses the phrase like I believe it's memento mori,
I
right? Which
love it.
is like
I wrote that
the
down.
meditation of your own death, right?
Hmm.
Like, have you started meditating that piece? Like,
Well,
because
here's the thing.
like for the listeners, like the idea is that like if you meditate your own death, that you will gain greater appreciation in the day by day, right? Like if you think
So here's the
like,
thing. I used
oh,
to call
here's
that
my timeline.
anxiety. I used to call that
Yeah.
anxiety, and
Yeah,
now I
yeah,
call
yeah.
it meditating. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Is that neat? Like
I
I
used to
thought the
fear
same
it,
thing.
and now it can give you power. Definitely, for sure.
What
That's
a
actually,
great response, Ken.
yeah.
Like, because I agree. Like I thought just a couple months ago, if I would like thought about it or like kind of like to your point, it gave me anxiety, but instead now it's kind of like brought in like a peace and like the idea that like, yeah, I just get to live every day by the full, like I feel very lucky
The
that I'm in
important,
my specific situation. Like,
definitely
like with
and
all
that's the
things that
most
go on
important
in the
lesson.
world. Yeah.
Right there. That's
Yeah.
the most important lesson you can learn from the Stoics and philosophy, I think, from my
Enjoy
small segment
your
of study.
situation.
Your situation.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
what it is your situation, and that's all. And that's all there is. And you're wasting any energy and time thinking about any other situation or how any other way that your situation could be.
Yep.
The best thing you could do is just your situation the best that you can, and to accept it fully without any sort of thought behind that. Just accept it. Not accept it. This sucks and I accept it. Not that. Just I accept it. Not that it sucks and I accept it. Just that I accept it.
Yeah. No, it's
That's
true.
that's a killer thing. I got to tell you, I'm like I first mentioned, the parallels with Taoism are just profound. And I'm in a part of the book, Stillness is the Key, where he's referencing it a lot. And I'm driving on the freeway in my truck, running some parts to Midvale or some dumb shit, and listening to it and like fist pumping, because Stoicism, like that philosophy, it strikes a chord with me. And this other philosophy, Taoism, striking a chord with me. And to see the knotting of the two common is comforting to me, because
he often refers back
I
to
was currently tying those ropes together, because
yeah.
Taoism is a philosophy that I've like accepted. Like,
yeah, it's a good. I got the Tao. You gave me the
accepted.
Tao Te Ching, so
I know, and I fist pump a couple times because I know you're listening to Ryan Holiday's podcasts, and he's referencing it. And I'm like, I told you, water is the greatest good.
It's the best.
Empty space is what gives a thing purpose.
And it's good to like I like
your
an
mind,
ego is the
empty
enemy.
space.
When he
I
talks
can't wait
an
to get
ego
there.
is
That's
the
next. It's next.
yeah, like I like that what he
me.
talks about. I don't want to spoil, right? But like one piece of the puzzle is like he kind of talks about like the idea of like, who am I to talk about this? Like as a writer, as I'm writing this book, what type of person am I to be able to write about this? And so that's why like I like him so much, is because it's not like a self-help. It's he's critical of himself along the way, but also at the same time, it's like he doesn't
he's a philosophy guy. He references
yeah,
Kierkegaard. He references
he's not
Descartes.
perfect.
He references
like he just
Weigel. He
he's
references
flawed.
them all.
Yeah,
he does it all.
Yeah.
And he's flawed, and you're right. And he's not afraid to show that, and that's important. That's an important part of his power there, power writing.
And if anybody is listening to this podcast and they're wondering, like, oh, what are these guys
Nobody's
talking
listening.
about with Stoicism? They're listening. They're listening. Well, listen. I got faith in you potheads more than Ken does. But I will say this. If you are listening, check him out. Ryan Holiday. He's got the Daily Stoic podcast. He's got several books out there. Kenny hooked me up. I have adopted journaling daily. I've adopted kind of the just the ability to just kind of like process my thoughts and take more out of my head than I need to, right? So like
it's gonna help you in league night too.
For you, dude, you spoiled me, bro. Like I felt spoiled.
You're gonna putt better now.
No, I just felt like I was like, damn, man. Like because I do enjoy like this process. Like I'm learning something, and I'm learning an ability to like. I'm learning how to react better. I'm learning how to process things better. I'm learning how to be better. So like, you send me like the Daily Stoic, the 366 meditations and days of writing and reflection. So like, I'm like just continuing to build upon this.
Build it, bro. Just keep building.
Like, it's been fun. It's fun doing it with you too. Like it's fun.
I'm there. I'm right there.
Like being on that. Yeah.
When you're reading tomorrow's meditation, just know that I've read it and that I'm contemplating similar thoughts because it's true. I'm on it because it's important. It helps me a lot because it puts you on that philosophy track. Bro. It puts you on that track. It's like, do you remember when you were a kid and used to like flip on a skate video before you went to the skate park?
Got to get amped.
It's just like that. And so like throughout my day, I'm calmer. I'm more reserved in my reactions or having none at all. But that's only because that I've done that.
I shower and listen to the Daily Stoic. Nice. Right? I shower. When I take Brew on a walk, I listen to the Daily Stoic. So like, and it goes as far back as the podcast has gone. Like there's plenty of episodes I haven't seen or listened to, and it's just 2 to 10 minutes, 2 to 11 minutes, go on a little walk, doing some yard work. But yeah, Kenny, I wanted to leave you with something though. Okay. Before as we sunset off.
Let's pack it up.
Yeah. As we pack it up, I think it's important. I wanted to leave you with something. Okay. I thought you might like this. This has been kind of folklore. It's not folklore, but like it's real.
Is it the Ogopogo?
But no, this is kind of way more cooler. All right. Like this is just a little treat for you. And it involves the Cleveland Browns.
Oh.
Yeah. So
saucy.
As you know, in the NFL, and it was instituted in 1994. But as you know, that there are little earpieces in the NFL where the coach can talk to the quarterback, right?
Pogo.
Well, I'm going to share with you something, okay? Now, if anybody wants to at me or at the podcast,
I'm going to at you, bro. I know where you're going.
As we sunset off. This is off the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So this is profootballhof.com for somebody who wants to. And what I'm going to share with you is a bit of information about the Ratterman's radio helmet. Okay. The Ratterman's radio helmet allows the coach to communicate to the quarterback before the quarterback snaps the football. Now, in 1956, Kenny, two Ohio inventors, John Campbell and George Soros.
Ohio inventors. They're just two guys from Ohio that just had to just
two guys from Ohio.
Everything. They're just like, fucking traffic.
John Campbell and George Soros approached Hall of Fame coach Paul Brown of the Cleveland Browns with a radio receiver that they had developed. Yep. The two theorized that the radio could be placed in a helmet to help Browns communicate with his players on the field. In doing so, Brown would eliminate the delays caused by his utilization of substitution players who ran the plays from the sideline to the huddle. Brown liked the idea and agreed to put the radio receiver into quarterback George Ratterman's helmet, but insisted that the plan be kept a secret and thoroughly tested before ever being used in an actual game. The radio was carefully mounted into the helmet, and using the seclusion of the wooded area behind Campbell's home, the pair proceeded to test the unit. Sarles retreated to the woods with the helmet. The signal became weak and communication broke off. When Sarles did not return, Campbell set out to find his partner. Soon thereafter, he spotted Sarles talking with a police officer who had interpreted the signal. Fortunate for Sarles and Campbell, the officer was a Browns fan and agreed to keep the discovery under wraps. Nonetheless, the pair changed the frequency on the unit. The helmet was first used to perfection in an exhibition game against the Detroit Lions. However, the Lions coaching staff began to notice that Brown was not using his usual substitutions for play calling. Yeah. Shortly after halftime, one of the Lions assistants spotted a hidden transmitter that set behind a wooden light post on the sideline. News quickly spread throughout the league, and other teams scrambled to devise their own units, none of which proved as effective as the Sarles and Campbell invention. The Browns used the helmet in 3 more games before NFL Commissioner Burt Bell outlawed the use of the device. In 1985, John Campbell donated the headgear to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and Ratterman's helmet is now in display in the Gridiron Glory Travel Exhibit. Now, I want to share something with you, Kenny.
God damn, that's a great story. Thank you. That was great.
That's a great story, and I would like to share. This man, George Sarles, that helped invent this, that is my grandfather.
No shit.
No shit. That is my dad's stepdad. I have an uncle, Steve Sarles. My grandmother's name was Carol Sarles.
Carol?
That is her second husband. That is my dad's stepdad. That is my grandfather, George Sarles, who helped invent the earpiece that every quarterback listens to every play that has ever been executed in the modern NFL.
Dog pound, baby. Woof, woof, woof. Shout out.
Started with the Browns, baby.
That's what's
up.
Is
that a cool story, right? You didn't expect that, did you?
I didn't expect the twist at the end. That's for sure.
That's a little venerable folklore. That's a little venerable folklore, bro.
I like that. I like the venerable folks and their lore. I love it.
Yeah, so if anybody's ever wondering and they're sitting there and they're like, oh, I can't believe that a quarterback gets the play called. Just remember that in this episode of Two Homies Chatting, you learned that one of the hosts, grandfather, invented that earpiece. It's in the Hall of Fame. ProFootballHOF.com literally has an article written about the Ratterman's radio helmet invented partially by George Sarles.
And if you're in Ohio, stop by Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame and view this piece yourself.
And we just appreciate everybody for listening to this fresh new episode. We thank everybody for always listening, streaming us. You can find us on any podcast platform. Go adopt Stoic philosophies, principles as much as you can.
We on platforms like the Olympics.
Oh, trying to get gold. Let us know. We appreciate it. Shout out Podbean. Kenny, you rocking them Flame-Ons?
The one and the
you
other one.
You rocking them Flame-Ons?
The Flame-Ons.
Them Flex? You got them Flex?
Yeah, I'm wearing Flex.
Shout out. FLX, Coles. Let's see. Shilling, Cider, Two Towns, Rogue. Kenny's got some Roja.
Quitos.
Saltfire. And Saltfire. Thanks, everybody, for always streaming us. Shout out Poppy. All the good. Be safe out there. Enjoy Memorial Day weekend. I know we will. You'll probably hear an episode before then, but yeah.
Be safe,
Shout
but
out.
more importantly, be present. Be where you are. And remember that the way you do anything is the way you do everything.
Damn, those are great words.
Strong words. I shared those with my team at work. I shared those words yesterday with my team. Those are strong words. It's important.
You know, I'm not going to lie. Just before we fully set, when I read that this morning, I fucking put in a day. Like, I don't want to be like I ain't worked that hard in a minute, but I fucking crushed today.
But I ain't
like
worked that hard in a minute.
when I read that, I was like, God damn, I'm crushing this motherfucking day, dude.
I love it.
I like hammered shit. I'm so ahead of schedule right now. It's crazy. Like I was just I read that and I was like, and then it was like real quick too. Like, you know, like I think I told you, you know, they did is my attention actually on the things at hand?
God,
was
that one.
was the journaling.
Never.
Right?
Almost never.
And then the other reflection was, where am I doing the opposite of what what I should be doing? Right. So then like I'm getting those phrases in my head tied into how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I just hammered the day out. Dude.
That's what's up, like, dude.
Oh, I just was like, I was
it's power.
I'm
it's
going
good.
I'm going into a nice relaxing weekend. Relaxed. I'm like I could not do more.
That's good.
You know?
And just go be in that weekend and be in that moment with that moment. That's great. Enjoy that. I'm going to play golf.
Appreciate you. Appreciate this podcast. Appreciate all the podheads that stream this podcast. Thank you.
Buy local, be local.
That was fantastic, bro.
Bangarang.
I'll send you everything.
Yeah, like Google Drive links work for me. Just to come back about your chips, man. Dude, let me ask you something.